Booyakasha.
We are live.
All right. Hot.
Another edition of Dope or Nope, where we are going to listen to a bunch of demos from new and accomplished artists alike. And up there in the top square, we've got Nick Dietrich from the Disco Fries and FinishMyTrack.com. And in the Alice position in the Brady Bunch grid. And he's the head honcho at Dim Mak Records, and I'm JB McDaniel, and I used to program the dance radio station in Seattle for, many decades. So we're here to check out demos and give feedback.
I love it.
You're not just any JB McDaniel. You are JB McDaniel with a fresh haircut.
That's right.
That is top notch.
Looking sick.
Thank you. Spring is coming, so I wanted to have a different look.
There you go. I love it.
I love it. You're willing it into existence.
Yeah, doing my best.
So we don't have a Hess today, but we might have a Raquel today. You never know your luck in a big city.
I would not swap places with Hess. He's on his way to Disney, and it would take all the money in the world, and even then, I don't think you could convince me to go.
What, to Disneyland, you mean? Disney World?
Disney World, I think he's going to.
Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've heard the one in LA is good. I don't know.
It's great. I was there randomly towards the end of last year. It was sick.
I heard that the Super Mario World at Universal too is supposed to be amazing.
Yes, I also went there the day after. Brooklyn's dad was over, and he's like, "Let's go and do the theme parks." And I went, "Sure, I'll plus one that." So it was awesome. Yeah, it was a good.
That's great. Good stuff. Rimnez, I see you in the chat. What's going on? DJ Chillmonger, Mesa, and Boss. Of course, I can't escape you guys. Bianca, what's going on? How are you guys? We've got some good music today. We're gonna jump right into it. This first one is from Carfi. I don't think we've played anything from Carfi before on here. So Carfi with Dragonflies.
All right.
That is Carfi with Dragonflies. Wow, what an opener.
Oh, damn. Bell.
3, 3, 3.
Wow. Epic. Beautiful. I only have one piece of advice, which would be the vocal, which kind of keeps getting distorted and muted and low passed, which sounds fantastic. I would say just as the pre-drop vocal, let it open and have the line, which I think is "You Got Me Dreaming" or whatever it is. That should be like very clear, so that we all know exactly what it is, so that we can share it. And I don't have, I think that's what it was called. It's like, oh, have you heard that new song from Coffee? The one that goes, "You got me dreaming," or whatever it is.
I'd agree.
That's literally the only change. Outside of that, it's get it mastered, send it to Dim Mak New Noise.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to say on the mix was it was a little hot in like the between 500 hertz and maybe it was like 400 hertz and 1,000. Like that mid-range resonance ate up a lot of the mix. but I mean, nothing that can't be fixed on a master. Like,
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
This one blew my mind. I mean, it started off surreal, and then it gave us a solid groove. Then it started, throwing in that sort of those two-step elements that you just don't hear all the time. It sounds really clean. It sounds, I would love to hear what it sounds like mastered, but I mean, very much bell worthy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, three bells. Once again, let's just do them again because that good.
That good.
That good.
Awesome.
Well, let's follow it up with another one. Dante Castillo with All I Want right here on Dope or Nope.
All I need is you. All I want is you. All I need is you. All I want is you. All I need is you. All I want is you. All I need is you. All I want is you. All I need is you. All I want is you. All I need is you.
I don't need you to take care of me. I take care of myself. That's what I do. Why don't you go find some other girl who's not gonna hurt you?
I'm going to jump ahead a little. Dante Castillo with All I Want right here on Dope or Nope. JB, what do you think?
Yeah, that one had a real nice feel. I was surprised by the woman who started talking out of nowhere. I thought maybe there was like a news clip running or something. But I did ultimately like the record. It felt very lush to me, like kind of like a warm blanket in a way. So that's about all of the similes I can come up with.
Yeah, good.
Nice one.
I like it. I really like it. I'll take half a bell on this one.
I don't know what our half bell is today, by the way. Oh, it's a cowbell. All right. It is what it is. Sorry. Moo.
Yeah, literally. I wrote down that I really liked it overall, and it felt like a chilled lounge kind of early 2000s Daft Punky kind of record in some ways. It's in that direction at least. I think the cool speech bit where the girl came in was really nice. It kind of reminded me of a lot of the Fred Again kind of records.
Oh yeah.
And I thought I thought it was a little bit too bare too quickly under the All I Want Is You vocal line when it came out of the first drop and it went into the breakdown. I think it just sort of felt way too spacious too quickly. Even though you were ending it with nothing, it emptied too early. I think it could empty a lot slower, and under that whole section, you could probably keep the drop low passed, so you kind of like have like a bassy harmonic beat that's happening. That's like low passed underneath it, and then it fades out the way you have it already. And the reason for the half bell for me, the other half is missing, is because the end of every 4 bars, I can hear it now in the background. There's like a glitchy wood block. It's like an electronic glitched wood block kind of sound of like I can't remember what it's called, the instrument where there's a wood block with all the ribs on it, and you run the wooden stick down, you get that kind of sort of sound. I think that sound should be replaced with something which is way more plucky and more or less in time, or creating some kind of swing. That, to me, that would make a lot more sense. And you've got something rhythmic that, even if it's off time, if it's on 3/4 time, and or 2-3, it would be better, I think, than just having like a glitchy woodblock that doesn't keep any time. So I think it's a maraca. I'm going to look that up. What is that damn instrument?
I keep thinking clave, but it's not clave.
Could be.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on it. I agree with all of that. I think for me, it's interesting. Once I hear these like vocoded vocals now in this specific style, I automatically think of Daft Punk because they like made it their thing, even though there were so many iterations of it before them. But it's great. It sounds inspired by them, regardless if it was or not. What was missing for me was like a real audible bass groove that you could feel, that gave it some bounce. And I think, Lauren, you kind of alluded to that too.
Yeah.
I could feel the kick. Like it definitely had like that low rumble to it, but there was nothing that gave you extra bounce besides the hi-hat on top. And once you're in a club, that hi-hat might get lost a little bit with the low end, so you need the bounce to happen in the bottom of the spectrum too. That was the biggest thing for me. I thought the textures were cool. I like the chill vibe of the whole thing. I could have used some more ear candy and kind of things to throw your ears around. Like that sustain pad is great, but it gets a little stale in spots where you could tremolo it out and sidechain it harder at the ends of phrases and do things with throw it out to reverb and delay and do things to wash it out. Just more automation so it doesn't feel stagnant. I think that was the main thing for me overall. But
Nice.
I think this is at like maybe 80%. The idea is all there. It's just all the finer points right now.
This instrument, it's called a gyro.
Gyro!
Gyro, that guy. That's what I was talking about.
Gyro.
Those
There
are
you
so
go.
cool.
So it sounds like that instrument that's there the whole time. It sounds like it's just random and there's not rhythmic, and it needs to be a more in time sound. That's all.
Mason
Great
Boss
record.
guessed a go-go.
Yeah, close.
There's so many of those little Latin percussion instruments. I get lost in them all.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. All right, we're going to jump into fan favorite, the one and only Ed Monsky with Risk It All right here on Dope or Nope.
In the moment, yeah, you know it, but the time is ticking away now, and there's so damn much left at stake now. But for you, I'd risk it all. We wanna pretend that we know it all, but it's only the farthest thing from the truth. Yeah. Everything to lose, everything to lose. Oh, everything to lose, everything to lose. You were happy in the moment, yeah, you know it. Time is taking away now, and there's so damn much left at stake now. But for you, I'd risk it all. We wanna pretend that we know it all, but it's only the farthest thing from the truth. Yeah. Oh, everything to lose. Everything to lose. Oh, everything to lose. Everything to lose.
That went so many different places, I had to let it play. I'm going to give this one a bell. There's things I'd change, but I'm going to give it a bell.
Wow. That's like the potential for you can hear the potential in it. So you're giving a bell for that.
It's a bell for a guy that's ringing the bell over there, not one of you, just some other guy who heard the record from afar that didn't hear some of the finer points on the record that I feel like need to be changed to make it bell worthy.
Got it.
But
and do you intend to make those changes before it goes out on liftoff, or would you like to share them with us now?
well, the first thing is I did not realize the. Oh, I mistaken Todd Stuckey's text. I thought he said the vocal was a popular vocal, as in it was a splice vocal. I am curious where the vocal came from because it does not list the vocalist here. So I'd want to confirm that. But come back to me on the detailed feedback in a second. I want to hear what John has to say first.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, it sounded very much like a song that you could hear on a dance radio station because it was, again, a complete song. It wasn't just a track. It's compelling enough to actually listen to it, learn how to sing along to it, and groove to it, essentially. So I think for dance radio, it's got some legs there, possibly.
I would say with dance radio, you're struggling because dance radio seems to be very, very particular about what they play, and even records that are being played on some other stations won't always get played by everybody at the same time. So I think US dance radio is very much very, very specific in what they want, and I think a song like this would get lost amongst other songs. And normally it's not a case of is it good enough, it's just there happens to be something that's really great out that week or in the marketplace. I think is probably the reason why a lot of records haven't been playlisted over the years that I've noticed there, JB. And not so
talk to me about it.
Yeah, I know. And I really like it. I did also agree with you, Nick, that it kind of like flew around the room a lot in terms of its different movements and styles and stuff. The vocal tone is cool. The vocalist is okay. I don't think I remember anything about the song. I don't remember a particular hook. I don't remember exactly what it's called yet. It feels the hats are nice. I think the hats are okay. It's very commercial house or commercial fast house, I suppose you'd almost call it. It's not speed house, but it's definitely getting a speed ticket. It's over 130, and it's good. It's a good record. I enjoyed listening to it. I wouldn't switch it off, but I don't know what I would come back to it for without there being some extra little moments that make it more compelling.
Yeah, so I'm gonna piggyback off of that because the main two things for me were that if you're gonna rock with this vocal, ideally it was something you had created, and you can go back to the vocalist and get like one really powerful that's the hook, or that's like the phrase, or that's the thing I walk away with singing. Mm-hmm. There's not one of those, or there's not a melodic line that carries through the record. Besides the stutters, this part.
Yeah.
Actually, it doesn't even happen there. It happens in the last drop.
Yeah.
And it's not really... It sounds more like a texture than like a lead line that you take away from the record. So I would encourage you to do both. Get something powerful from the vocalist, or cut a new vocal that has something that you can walk away from the record with, and have a melody, maybe that echoes that line, that new line that you create, ideally, or is just some kind of really strong, simple melody that you walk away from the track with. I think both of those things will take this a little bit further than it is now. But overall, I love the vibe. Giving it a bell again. I like it. It's a really good record.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think it'll sound really great with those changes.
DJ Spawn says it's Diplo worthy.
Diplo would simplify it. Everybody who's worked with Diplo have all said to me that he walks in the room, he listens, and he goes, I think we need to simplify it some more. It's like his number one thing, and he's generally not wrong. If you listen to most Diplo records, they're not as complex and complicated as that one with as much going on. That's the only thing
I don't know if he meant Diplo as in the station or Diplo as a producer.
Oh, right. Sure.
Mason Boss, I saw you dropped in your remix of our record, which is out already, and we try to stick to unreleased records, so I'm going to skip that. I'm happy to play it at the end of the show, though. We're gonna go to Chemical. Where does Chemical got here? Oh, an ID.
Ooh, watch out.
An ID number 3 from Chemical.
It's deeper than the ocean and it's real. You are the brightest of the shooting stars. The way you look at me just heal my world. if I fail. It's deeper than the ocean and it's real. You are the brightest of the shooting stars. The way you look at me just heal my wounds. I wanna shout it out to the world. This love is never gonna be over.
All right, Chemical with ID number 3. Sweet drop. What are we thinking?
Yeah.
I was looking for the button. So go ahead, JB.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say it's kind of a groovy track. I could see myself kind of getting lost as it was being played, just because it sort of, I don't know, hypnotized me a little bit, made me a little thirsty. But yeah, I mean, I think as far as that kind of track goes, it's fine. I didn't necessarily hear a takeaway from it, you know, a way I would explain it to somebody who didn't hear it. But yeah, I mean, it's got a nice groove and you can dance to it.
I really liked it. It's a 3/4 bell for me, so I'll take the full bell for effect.
All right.
and for the encouragement. It feels like Panic Room a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Camel Fat. It's the song that you'd play in that set. So my suggestion is listen to that song and figure out why a DJ would or wouldn't play your song immediately before or after that one. And it's funny how in isolation, you'll listen to a record like this when you're making it and you're like, oh, this sounds great. And then when you get to the club and you've got an audience in front of you and things are really happening and the pressure's on and you're playing Camel Fat record or you're playing something like Panic Room, then when you go to bring your one in and you cue it up in your headphone, you're like, this is not going to do it. There's going to be an energy difference, or there's going to be a quality or a clarity difference, or there's a hook, there's no hook in it or something. There's something like that. So my instinct is to listen to Panic Room from start to end and then go back and listen to yours. And then when you do it, you're like, oh yeah, it needs more tension, or it needs a deeper bass, or it needs an extra layer of something, or the vocalist, we need to double the vocalist or something. I don't know. That's where I would look for inspiration to start with, because I wouldn't say it's good, not great. I'd say it's very good, not great. So it's close. Just look to those kinds of examples of how to improve it. Nick.
So on that note of Panic Room and Camel Fat,
yeah,
we used those guys as a big time reference when we did our record Spiral with Lena Leon, which did extremely well at BPM, was number one.
Nice.
Went crazy, number one record, Billboard, blah, blah, blah. Awesome record. Wow. I don't say so myself, but
you stole the idea. You're saying from who?
What's that?
You took the inspiration from what? From Camel Fat?
From Camel Fat on that record, and a couple others, but from Camel Fat. And a lot of it had to do with, one, the energy in the additional production. Like, this does some of the 16th hi-hat stuff, but it's not pushing it hard enough, I feel like, overall. So, like, the sound set is loosely there.
Yeah.
But everything just needs to be tighter, side-chained harder, and you need to feel the momentum more and the pressure of each section, like, leading you into the next section. So I think he's on the path, and I mean, I feel like it's like 90% there. But I would spend another couple days on this and put it against those records. Honestly, the best thing I could recommend is do Spotify radio, like pull up Camel Fat and then pull up songs like this song on Spotify radio and go through the list, and then just put this against it and weigh your energy against those records. It shouldn't sound like those songs, but just it should stack up in the same way and carry the same energy. That's
great advice.
Yep, agreed.
A lot of trial and error doing it.
Yeah.
Good one, though. Really good. I'm going to give this a bell the more I think about it.
There you go. Good.
I like it.
Welcome to the Bell Show. All right.
Welcome to the Bell Show. It's cool, though. All right,
All right.
well, let's keep it rolling right here. We're gonna go right into Arland. I don't know if we've heard from Arland before, but Arland with "Want My Love" right here on Dope or Nope.
Losing patience cause you're racing through my mind. Guess you're one of a kind. I keep calling on but I'm not getting through. All I wanna do is you tonight. And no, whatever you do, however you move, I'ma lose all my senses over you. I don't worry, God, give it to time. You're just a fool. You are my love anymore. You are my love anymore. You get the fool to medicines. Oh no, you are my.
Arland with "Want My Love."
I'll take
All
a
right.
bell, please.
Wow! Wow!
Love it. It was really cool. I was specifically trying to distract myself with writing an email, doing something that wasn't paying too much attention, just to see what it's like for 90% of the listening public who don't lean in and analyze a song on first listen. And it sounded great. And what I was noticing, that there was moments where it kind of took me out of what I was doing to go, wait, this part's cool. This is really cool. I like this. And then when I was pulled out into the drop at one point, I went, this is a really great baseline driven drop that reminds me of what Axwell was doing, Swedish House Mafia, Greyhound, that kind of baseline. It felt really strong. And then I'm like, oh yeah, and I still remember what the vocalist was just saying as well, so it was clear. Now I'm sure if I leaned in, I could probably, I don't know, change the hats or something small. But from a bird's eye view on that listen, I really, really liked it. It sounded fun, super fun.
Yeah, it's funny. Rimnez commented, "Banger." This reminded me a lot of his style, like the way the synth is really wide, and I'd like to hear. I loved when the synth like tightened up for that moment right before the drop, and then it got big again. I feel like there's room to do a little bit more of that, where it doesn't feel just like a 4-bar loop constantly happening, and there's some more changes with the synth line. But yeah, the vocals stuck with me. The line, I think, rolls nicely. I love the whole thing. I've got to do it again. I just hate to do it on so many records back to back, but they call for it.
These are great records. I mean, come on. That's why I'm going to need a bell as well.
Oh my Lord.
Wow. Just to follow up with what you were saying, Nick, I also felt like it could have used some other effects to make that 4-bar loop a little bit more, I don't know, varied from place to place throughout the song. But other than that, wow. Nice. Yeah. Want My Love.
Look at that. And he hits the post with his feedback. He ends his feedback as the song ends. I love it. Well,
always a radio guy.
I am apologies because I'm tight on time today, but are you guys good with ending it with none other than Rimnez himself on this next record?
That's fine to me.
All right, we're going to go with Rimnez, right here on Dope or Nope. Rimnez with yeah. Sorry, I wanted to play that one out a little bit longer and see where it went.
Yeah, same. It's another. Listen, as an instrumental, it's a bell, so I'll take the bell. It's screaming out for a vocal. It's like without a vocal, it's I don't know the kind of venue that it would play in. You could probably get away with it, but you really need a bell, even if, a vocal, even if it's just a little pre-drop vocal, or whether it's a piece for the breakdown or something. Not too dissimilar to what Bright Lights did for Porter Robinson with that big record, fucking how many years ago now? 10, 15 years ago. Language. And
Good
the production.
reference.
Yeah, the production is clean, really punchy, very present. All the instruments are very well separated to my ear. But yeah, the vocal is the next necessary piece. But I mean, listen, if I was an artist who is a vocalist and doesn't have music made for me, like I don't know, like who doesn't make music, I don't know, Linny or Helene or Haley, sorry, or anything like this, you'd be able to offer that kind of production to them, and they go, yeah, perfect, this is my song, I love it, and they would crush it. So it's either that, or find a collaboration, or find a vocalist who wants to feature. But yeah, that's all I got.
I'd agree with that. You need a takeaway, and it's a strong groove. Like I wouldn't even mess with the instrumental too much. You could do some little mix things to maybe punch it up, but even that, it sounds great. It just needs the thing to take it the distance to be a memorable song beyond just being another track on Beatport. Right. So consider that. I'd offer, my thought was like, do more of a hype vocal, whether it's a hip hop vocal or something that's like a little left field. I didn't hear it with a sung vocal.
Yeah, hype vocal could definitely work. Yeah, I'm hearing it with a female vocal, but it would have to be a more powerful vocal potentially. Maybe not as soft as the Bright Lights reference, but more like a rock vocalist, perhaps.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Pretty
Cool.
What do you think, JB?
I thought it was good, and like you said, as far as an instrumental goes, it's got everything you're looking for. So I will go ahead and take a bell for that solid groove. It had texture, it had drama. That intro felt like it was setting us up to go on this amazing ride, which I think ultimately it gave us. So nice job, Rimnez.
What? You just hit a second post with feedback.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Wow.
Unreal.
On that note, it's been another show, a very quick one, Dope and Ope.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll be back next week, I guess, with another round of it, hopefully with more people.
Yeah, and we will be raiding into DJ Scene today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we love you all. Have a great weekend.
So many great records. So awesome.
Thanks,
What a great
everybody.
show. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you.
Cheers.